never not be hilarious to me to consider that we have a Call of Duty title coming out in 3 to 4 months' time, and that we still officially know very little on that, yet we know quite a bit about Infinity Ward's next project, likely a Modern Warfare 4, and even now, Sledgehammer's next project in 2027. Today we're taking a look at a new report claiming some high-level details of what Sledgehammer has on deck after the upcoming Modern Warfare 4, and honestly, not even in a BuzzFeed type of way, some of it may actually surprise you. So drop your thoughts as we go along, drop a like if you enjoy the video, and make sure to subscribe for more COD and other FPS coverage, as well as consider following over on Twitch to join in on the conversations live as they happen. But for now, let's get into it. So up until this point, we've known very little about COD 2027, and rightfully so. I mean, we're still 2 years away from that game, which in developmental terms for COD is a lifetime. The only concrete thing that we really knew was that Sledgehammer was seemingly getting the green light for their own project in 2027, which fans then spun up theories for themselves, including an Advanced Warfare 2, which, truth be told, isn't a half bad theory, as it's on record multiple times that Sledgehammer wanted to and was looking to make an Advanced Warfare 2 following Infinite Warfare for their title in 2017, but then with the advanced movement fatigue and burnout that happened there, it was changed to World War II and a return to boots on the ground. But anyways, Sledgehammer getting their own title also meant in theory that it'd be their first uninterrupted developmental window since their first outing in Advanced Warfare, having come off helping with Modern Warfare 3's development. Since then, we've been over this so many times, but every single project they've worked on has had some major hiccup of some kind, if not an entire rework. World War II was initially reported to be Advanced Warfare 2, but again, as mentioned, changed early on to avoid movement fatigue and everything that came along with Black Ops 3, and then more notably with Infinite Warfare, the reception that that game had. Vanguard was a last-second project after they were removed from their co-created Cold War era game with Raven, one that I've speculated plenty of times. That's why we didn't see Mason and Woods really be sort of front and center with Black Ops Cold War, because it seems like initially it was not ever meant to be Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War, just Call of Duty Cold War, when it was Sledgehammer and Raven working on the game. But when Treyarch was brought in to help finalize things, it was rebranded in a way that would be more recognizable, that would fit that sub-IP and brand. So then they had to make a game the following year, and that's where Vanguard comes into play, where it has a very familiar base and a lot of assets in Vanguard from a World War II setting. Modern Warfare 3 was a project they were thrown into, and it's been confirmed numerous times to be a title developed in only 16 months after Infinity Ward turned down a year 2 option, if they even sort of were given the option. But whatever the case, that's why we had no post-launch content in Vanguard's seasonal offerings after launch. So with a potential 3 to 4 year window since Modern Warfare 3, I say let them cook. Now, we've also recently heard, and I'm talking grand scheme of things really recently, compared to that leak about them getting their own 2027 title, but we've heard recently that Sledgehammer may be handling the multiplayer for Black Ops 7, which may be a good or bad thing. Maybe you really liked Modern Warfare 3's multiplayer, maybe that means it's going to be a good experience in Black Ops 7 for you, but maybe that also means that it may take away from some of the development of 2027's title. But grand scheme of things, with foundational work being handled for the rest of that project, their third mode, their campaign being handled by the rest of the team, I think in theory they should be able to hit the ground running with a year and a half left or so after finishing up the content for post-launch of Black Ops 7, if they have to do that, around the Season 3-ish time frame, and then they can pick up without missing a beat on their own title. That's, again, assuming that rumor's even true. But that was all that we knew until recently. Recently, Insider The Ghost of Hope alleged exclusive COD 2027 by Sledgehammer Games will not be Advanced Warfare 2 and will instead be set in a completely new sub-franchise, set during the modern era. No jetpacks, but movement is planned to be a big focus. Zombies is not currently planned for the game. Get High is instead planned to return, and there may be a focus on martial arts within the gameplay with karate kicks and karate chops as examples. And additionally, that heard it wasn't Advanced Warfare 2 for a while now, and the more I think about it, I'm glad it's not. We've gotten Modern Warfare 2, 3, Black Ops 6, 7, and Modern Warfare 4 all together. Time to switch it up and do something new for once. I think Sledgehammer will find a way to make the game that sticks out even within the modern era, and also saying, imagine Get High as a third game mode for COD 2027 with developer and community-made maps, full-fledged leaderboards, and more. I would love to just finally get away from Spec Ops and Zombies third mode focus for 1 year. Anything fresh and new would be so welcome. Finally adding that they plan to make map tools public again for years as far as he was aware, but it just keeps being delayed or not receiving the funding for it. But he thinks that Get High could be a good trial run for something even bigger. So there's a lot of stuff to break down and dissect here with this. Starting at a top level, number one being it's not Advanced Warfare 2 and it's a new sub-franchise. Admittedly, a little bummed. I do think that you could easily have picked up that storyline, either doing a prequel or a sequel, either of those being without exos and having to commit to advanced movement. If you did a prequel, you could do something that was building up before they had the exos all ready to go, sort of the rise of Atlas Corporation perhaps, even though you didn't quite know they were the bad guys just yet. Or if it's a direct sequel, you could do one of those things where they're like, all right, we're not going to use the exos because, well, you can see how easily they were controlled by one person. So I do think that you could have done something cool with that, but I totally understand where that franchise is from 2014. So it might not resonate, might not have as much a pull as you may initially think, though for a lot of the internet, it might be something that sparks a, oh my God, they're bringing it back type of thing that would be initially hype. It might not necessarily have the same pull as what we thought it would. But either way, being something that's set in the modern era with no jetpacks is something that is going to be interesting. How they differentiate from a modern warfare, being able to tell a gritty, gripping, and compelling story while also staying in that modern franchise, but not having the fatigue of coming off of a modern warfare game, will be interesting. Because I do think that one of those things that works in the favor of the pendulum shift of having the different eras and the different interests for players is that you don't have that sort of Modern Warfare 2 to Modern Warfare 3 sort of same feeling vibe of the setting and everything that comes along with that. What we might see again with Black Ops 7, even though that's more futuristic, it could feel a lot like Black Ops 6. So it'll be interesting to see how they end up differentiating that and if they can set up their own sort of sub-IP, because I do think it'd be cool if we did have that rotation. And I know it might be something that gets a little bit of groans, but from somebody that is a marketing major and thinking of the business side and trying to connect with people like that, the name definitely sticks out the most, where you have Infinity Ward doing Modern Warfare, you have Treyarch doing Black Ops, you have Sledgehammer doing whatever their new sub-IP is. But anyways, no jetpacks, but movement is planned to be a big focus is going to be interesting, because the thing they mentioned was martial arts, karate kicks, and karate chops. That, to me, I'll be honest with you, sounds either a little corny or a little bit cool. I'm kind of on the fence of which one I think it is. I think I'm more so leaning towards corny, but I would more so think it would be like those cinematics whenever they show off a new skin or something like that, where the character, it's something in engine, but it is something that they do like an emote high kick or something like that. That'd be cool to disorient or stun a player perhaps, but I also don't know that it necessarily needs to be a thing like that if that's one of your core focuses for movement enhancements. I don't know if it's necessarily going to be something that I care too much about, but hey, I mean, to each their own. We're still so far away from this as well, so who knows if it's even going to be a thing. Get High being planned to return, though, is something that I can absolutely get on board with. Obviously, I love zombies. I love playing it. I don't post it all that much, and recently I haven't played it just because of the burnout from each year's Call of Duty, but I do love zombies. I enjoyed Spec Ops for what it was. The most recent outings in Modern Warfare 2 in 2019 I think could have been done way better. Loved raids within Spec Ops in Modern Warfare 2, but I do think that going to something brand new as a third mode could be something that is a risk, but also have some very high payoff. And Get High was one of those things that I think came out of nowhere whenever it was introduced in Modern Warfare 3. Everybody fell in love with that mode. It was just genuinely a true arcade fun style thing to do. And if you end up putting rewards behind it like they did, you had some achievements and things you could do. It was really cool and a really fun experience that had never really been thought to be a Call of Duty experience. But at the same time, that's also what kind of kickstarted some of the other stuff we saw. Zombies was never going to be something that people thought would mix well with Call of Duty. I mean, it was something that was almost cut back in World at War. So it's one of those things, you got to take the risk on it, but I think that Get High already had enough of a trial run as an LTM within Modern Warfare 3 that it could definitely have some sort of base behind it. Whether or not it lives up to the hype or the sort of stature of a zombies mode, who knows, but it is something that would be pretty cool. And if you end up adding things in like community-made maps, that'd be super cool. I remember back with Modern Warfare 2, there was that rumor that we see a map creator or map editor that never came to be. Whether or not that was all total BS or not, we don't know, but that was something that was talked about for years now. And with the success of still Black Ops 3 mod tools on Steam, it's kind of crazy to me that we still have not seen another mod tools introduction 10 plus years at this point down the road. So maybe we see that again, and I think it'd be really cool to see that, but we'll have to wait and see as well. But anyways, that is where we're at. That is some of the newest leaks here for COD 2027. Again, hilarious, I think, that we are 2 years away and we're already hearing about some of this kind of stuff. And frankly, it might sound a lot more exciting to you or I compared to some of the stuff that's just 3 to 4 months away. So funny to think about that way, but just wanted to fill you guys in and let you know what you needed to out of this most recent round of rumors and leaks. So let me know your thoughts down below. Drop your thoughts, drop a like if you guys enjoyed the video, and make sure to subscribe to stay up to date with all things COD 2027, Modern Warfare 4, Black Ops 7, and a ton of other FPS content. Battlefield 6 upcoming, Arc Raiders later upcoming as well. We got you covered with all that and more. I'd love to have you in the community. For now though, thanks so much for watching. Mine's been Espresso. I'll see you later. Take care and peace.